Hello everyone, happy Labor Day weekend. I hope you guys had a wonderful, restful weekend. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the overall market, the SP500, the NASDAQ, the large tech stocks, things that are moving up, down, left, right, sideways. We're going to take a look at the VIX. The VIX is bouncing, and we're going to take a look at what the next steps are for the market. September has now started. These are the last few months of the year, and it's time to make the most of it. So I hope everyone is on board. And we are really going to lock in and do great, amazing things for this year. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys stay tuned in the channel. Things are going to be very, very nice. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. First and foremost, the S&P 500 futures. We had a big red day. All right, we had a very, very big red day. We were trading above this trend line. Everything looked great. We were rising. Everything looked fantastic, but then Friday came, and we ended up having a big red day, and we closed below the trend line. This was mostly due in part because of a lot of the large tech stocks had red days, and they were also showing a lot of weakness. Period, point blank. Very, very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of them one by one, and we're going to just simply look at the market as a whole, the strength of the market as a whole. Because not everything needs to be super complicated. But the issue that many, many people have with the market is that when you are only trying to analyze the market, people only try to analyze the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. What you must do is try to analyze everything as a whole. All right? So this is our way of doing that. Apple, at a level of resistance, showed a bit of weakness here. Okay? We broke above 230, held above 230. But what is this doing now? We came to a major level of resistance, which was August 13th's close. So where we closed right here is the high right here. So you could see that prior resistance is still current resistance. 233.40. Resistance held on Apple. Got a bit of a pullback. Excuse me. Amazon, same concept. Showed some strength, resistance. Broke below 230. We're sitting at 229. Overall, Amazon is still a really, really strong stock, strong pick. Google, big move to the upside. Google is still showing a lot of strength as well. We hit 214. Google is really strong. I don't see how Google won't see 225, 230 in the next couple of months. Overall, really strong. Tesla, not so much. If I could type it. Tesla, not so much. We had a big drop in Tesla. Multiple days we were failing. We were failing above 353 on Tesla. Big drop. Big $13 drop intraday on Tesla, and we came back down to the 330 level of support. Nice and simple. Nothing crazy. Clear-cut, obvious weakness at a level of resistance. Tesla showing this weakness ahead of these other stocks. So Tesla started to pull back first. Microsoft also showed a bit of weakness here at a level of resistance. Nice and simple. Bounced to 510. Got a bit of a pullback. Holding 504. Holding 505. Nice and simple. Microsoft doesn't look terrible. It's closer to a level of support, but it needs a break above 513. This is going to be a quick video. We're just going over the tech stocks. Netflix, big bounce. Like I was saying, this was a bearish setup, but because we're close to a level of support, these levels of support should hold on Netflix. Maybe 1190 should hold as support. But in general, I was saying that this was a bearish setup. Still, bearish setup. But these levels of support should hold, in my opinion. And Netflix should get a bid higher. Meta also close to a level of support, but showed weakness. So in general, a lot of these stocks were getting pullbacks, showing weakness. Big reason was also NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a 3% drop. 3.5% drop, sorry. Clearly, we had a big spike upwards on the day of earnings, and since then, we are now retesting the lower level of the Bollinger Band. So, clear about face. Clear cut. This was a great opportunity to be bearish. I was saying I would rather be bearish on chips heading into earnings. That's exactly what ended up happening. And, yeah. So, essentially, that's what's going on. And AMD, As you can see, AMD also 3.5% drop. The chips really took a hit. Tesla really took a hit, caused the market to get a bit of a pullback. A lot of these large tech stocks were at levels of resistance, also got pullbacks. Simple. Okay, nice and simple. September generally is a bearish month. Simple. Honestly, guys, this is nothing really crazy. The VIX got a big bounce. The VIX obviously is very, very important to monitor because it has an inverse relationship to the market. If the VIX is out of support, right, and bouncing, the opposite happens with the market. If the VIX is bouncing, the market falls. Nice and simple. Literally, it's just simple. Simple stuff. All right, so there's not really any precursors of what could happen now moving forward. The only thing really is we could look at crypto. So Bitcoin is trying to get a bit of a bottom out here at 109. Solana is trying to bottom out at 195. Ethereum is trying to bottom out here at 4,200. All of these cryptos are trying to show some sort of bullishness, and that strength could permeate into the overall market. Not a guarantee though. So with that being said, we really need to see if the overall market can just hold these levels of support, because if it doesn't, right, if these levels don't hold, this is when things can really, really start to fall lower and pull back. So I hope this makes sense. The market needs to show some strength soon, because a lot of these tech stocks are in the early stages of a pullback. And because they're at an early stage of a really, really big pullback, the market is also going to be teetering at a major level of support here. All right, so it's very, very important. This market, this level of support here at 64.60 on the ES, essentially the equivalent of 642, 643 on the SPY. Very, very important. If that breaks to the downside, yeah, crazy. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have an amazing day. Thank you.